Steve, we're here with a wacky game, a lot wackier than most. This is High on Knife, the standalone DLC to High on Life. And first of all, this is from Squanch Games, but this does not include Justin Roiland. He had a whole lot of controversy early this year and was cut from this company, so this DLC is free from that and hopefully free from the scrutiny that would go along with that. But we have some scrutiny of our own for that. First of all, I have to say this game is very much in the same vein of the main game. High on Life, High on Knife is just so out there for humor. Toilet humor, we'll say. This is the most mature subject game, if that makes any sense at all. It's going to gross you out, is what I mean to say. There's a lot of swearing throughout the entire thing. This is not for kids, but it will appeal to the kid in you. And first of all, this is a brand new little world we're in. We're running around and we have a mission. You're with Knifey. You have to bring Knifey to his package, open it up, and that's essentially the quest that's going on for this. It'll bring you through a whole lot of battlefields, a little bit of exploring, but eventually a quite decent boss fight, if I have to say. It's quite short, though. Probably about 4 to 5 hours, maybe. I did it on hard mode, if that matters at all. It was kind of easy to run through, but that's enough of my first impression. What did you think about getting into this one?
You know what? I was looking forward to checking this one out because I did enjoy the base game, High on Life, and straight off, it doesn't disappoint graphically. It has that cartoon kind of effect, bold colours, and obviously your talking weapons are back, but this time you have 4 of them this time. So you've got Harper, Gus, Sweezy, and then a new weapon called Ball, which basically has 3 kind of little alien characters on it that kind of talk funny and just load the weapon up with balls. And again, like I said, because of the talking, the voice acting is really good on par. But I do have an issue with the voice acting and, like you mentioned just previously, the swearing. Yeah. Because I find it's quite constant, and after a little while I did find it very annoying actually, and a little bit frustrating. But overall, the gameplay itself is a lot of fun. You know, just swapping weapons, taking out poachers. But I do love you start off at Salt Lick City, which is a world run by slugs.
There's a lot of humor, and it leaned into it really well in Salt Lick City. These slugs, they don't realize that salt's bad for them. In fact, they think it's curing their issues, which is just a whole hilarity of its own. There's a lot of little aspects to the game, moments where that humor can shine. Some that we're not going to get into the details of, just because it is so obscene. There's one section in there that I really had to put the controller down and get a good laugh out of my system, because it was funny, but it was absolutely horrifying. Yes, incredibly disgusting. But that is sort of what you're going for in this game, so it does live up to its own name. It lives up to the hype surrounding it. It just, in my opinion, I feel I should pass judgment on this. It's a little bit too much. It's what I've come to expect, but that one scene in particular, and I know you know the one, it's just awful. It was too much, and although it was funny, I like to fancy myself a little bit more mature than that. But when you ground yourself, you get into the actual action of the game, and it is exciting. It's well done gunplay. Yes. These guns are really wacky. They each have their own kind of function, their own kind of secondary function, and that makes for really fun gameplay. And kind of getting towards the end, really, the boss fight was several stages. It was interestingly thought out. It wasn't terribly inventive, but it did give you enough of that story the whole time. You're getting these personalities, and that's what you're there for. It's really almost like a season of Rick and Morty, all kind of rolled up into one 5-hour chunk.
Yeah, I did find the actual main story is very linear, just going from point A to point B. I did like that you do have a grapple hook, because you'll have to transverse between different platforms. And obviously, another thing I did like as well is there's like geysers. What you do is you shoot your ball into, and it sort of blocks it up to actually increase the pressure, so you can actually get to higher platforms. The other issue I kind of had was when you have the chainsaw for Knifey, and it's kind of near the end where you actually have to destroy certain organs, and because it's filled with liquid, I did find the spray was bothering my view.
Yeah, when you're cutting it up around and there's a whole lot of splashing effects on screen. Even very early on, some of the aliens you meet are coughing, sneezing, and it's getting on your camera. It's disgusting. It really leans into the toilet humor here. But all in all, if I have to kind of summarize my time in this game, it was fun, and it's almost more attractive to me than the actual main base game, if that makes sense at all. It was its own kind of endeavor, its own kind of breakaway, but it really leans on a lot of the tropes that you like in the main game. The very, very zany characters, very strange and disgusting situations, and there was enough of a gunplay in between that kind of led for me to go from one to the other and enjoy my time. It wasn't exactly funny to me all the time, but I appreciate the humor that it's trying to nail. This gets a 7.5 from me. I think this is absolutely enjoyable, and it's really a matter of, can you handle the subject matter?
Yeah, and I'm with you on this as well. 7.5. I did like the actual gameplay itself, and there was some funny moments in it. But like I said, the swearing in that certain scene as well it kind of put me off, and it kind of pulled me more out the game, as in more the shock value of pushing the boundaries.
Okay, let's move on. Next question on the survey. How satisfied are you with your current pay rate? Which I'm checking, and yep, it's 0. We don't pay you anything. Are you happy with that? Move around for yes. Stand perfectly still for 30 seconds for no. Okay, great. You love getting paid nothing at all. That's good to know. We'll just go ahead and keep paying you that amount. All right, last survey question. Would you be likely to recommend to a friend that they get a job working here at Muxxalon Shipping Company? Turn to the left for yes, turn to the right for no. Oh, that's a shame. So you wouldn't recommend anyone. But you know what? Actually, if they're anything like you, we're probably better off. I don't mean to be rude, but employees like you can really ruin the delicate company culture. Okay, that's the whole survey. Oh my God, thank you so much for doing that with me. I know you're in the middle of a busy day, but I just feel like this is really going to help me make up for being attached to the employee that's destroying the whole company.